those of you who know me, and even those of you who don't, I have always related in a deep, significant, and spiritual way to music and lyrics. Over the years, songs have given me directives, as the chorus in that last song does. They've calmed me, brought me to tears of happiness, tears of joy, angered me, beguiled me, caused me to think, caused me to question. Does music have a way of doing that to you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What I found really interesting about song lyrics in recent as it or not in the sacred texts of our cherished religions. From Mark chapter 13, verses 32 to 35, but concerning that day or that hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard, keep awake. For you do not know when the time will come. It is like a man going on a journey, when he leaves home and puts his servants in charge, each with his work, and commands the doorkeeper to stay awake. Therefore stay awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening or at midnight, or when the rooster crows, or in the morning. Did you hear it? Pay attention. But how about this lyric from another famous song? It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. To me, this lyric describes very succinctly, if perhaps slightly vulgarly, what's happening in the world today. Can you feel it?
Yes.
This lyric and its variants can be found proliferating our culture and our world at this very moment in time. Some people call it the 2012 prophecy. The end of days, Armageddon, Age of Aquarius, Judgment Day. Others call it the shift. Just pick up a newspaper, and you can see major shifts in rapid succession to the world as we've come to know it. Terrorist leaders like Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, Muammar Gaddafi succumbing and falling. Economies of major countries like Greece and the United States beginning to crumble. Major earthquakes in Japan and Haiti and Turkey, governments failing, people occupying Wall Street. I could go on and on. I mean, this is why I don't watch the news anymore. Changes, alterations, shifts in the entire world are happening at a rate of speed like we've never seen. People are aching for change, yearning for something new to grasp, a new consciousness, new thoughts, and new ideas. So what is the shift? So many people have used those words to describe what's happening right now, both at a microcosmic and macrocosmic level, that I fear it's begun to lose some of its poignancy. According to prophecy, on December 21st, 2012 AD, the ancient Mayan long count calendar comes to an abrupt end. December 21st, 2012 marks a new beginning, or a time of rebirth. According to the Popol Vuh, which is a book that compiles details of creation accounts known to the Quiché Maya of the colonial era highlands, we're living in what is called the fifth world. The Popol Vuh describes the first four creations that the gods failed in making, and the creation of this successful fifth world where human beings were placed. The ending of this fifth world cycle in 2012, according to many, will spell the end of the human race. Astrologically, that date, December 21st, 2012, represents an extremely close conjunction of the winter solstice sun with the crossing point of the galactic equator, or the equator of the Milky Way, and the ecliptic path of the sun. The ancient Mayan civilization recognized this as the sacred tree, and this event has been manifesting slowly over many thousands of years, and coincidentally enough, it will come to completion at exactly 11:11 a.m. on December 21st, 2012. I mean, there are many historic prophecies in sacred texts that claim that this will be the end of time, the end of the world as we know it. Once again, from the Bible, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty. For people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving, Good. Treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. Avoid such people. For among them are those who creep into households and capture weak women, burdened with sins and led astray by various passions, always learning and never able to arrive at a knowledge of the truth. Sounds a lot like what's happening right now. But Deepak Chopra explains the shift like this. This is a moment of power. This is that moment when the proliferation of uncertainty and the proliferation of chaos and the proliferation of ambiguity coincide. We are ready to take the next quantum leap in our evolution. We have arrived at a moment in our evolution we're going to have to make a choice. And the choice is to go the way we are going, or to pause for just a moment and see that we are also the only species, as far as we know, that asks ourselves, why am I here? What's the meaning and purpose of my existence? Where did I come from? What happens to me after I die? Do I have a soul? Does God exist? And if she does she care about us? We are the only species that is looking for meaning, and it is this new meaning that will give birth to our collective participation in the future evolution of our species. So a search for meaning, a search for our place in the world, a search for new consciousness, higher level of being, or the end of times. The destruction of the planet and the obliteration of the human race. Which do we choose to listen to? To believe or to follow? If we go back to that song lyric, it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine, we have two choices. We can listen to the first piece, it's the end of the world, and sit in despair and destruction and discontent that all those feelings bring us, or we can choose to listen to the second part of that lyric, as we know it. As we know it. As a society, so many things have become complacent, lockstep, overbearing, and we've come as a mass consciousness to simply accept things that are happening in government and politics, as well as on a personal level. Have you ever heard someone say, or said yourself, same, different day, or nothing ever changes, or bleep happens, you know? Well, now everything's changing. Everything's happening in rapid-fire succession. Things as we've come to know them are no longer as we know them. So what do we do?